Welcome to my podcast, Vicky.
Hey, thank you for having me.
I'm super excited to have you today. I know how busy you are, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. So, welcome to Real Talk with Jeaneen. This is my fun podcast. And of course, I like to start every podcast out with a little bit of real estate because that's my main gig. That's my passion. So, we'll talk about that real quick. According to the stats, when this episode is being aired, we have 400 active listings and we have 247 pending. Almost said 347. Sorry. So 400 active, 247 pending. We've had 164 sales all the way through this morning. And the average days on market is 57 days. So what it looks like to me is we started with less than 400 listings, and now we're going to begin creeping up. Why? It's spring market. Vicky, you know that. It's spring market. This is when families are getting ready to make their moves. So inventory should go up a little bit and buyers have some choices. So anyway, it looks good. Things are looking really good. It's supposed to be the year of the fives. That's what we've been hearing. 5% interest rates in the fives, 5% home appreciation. So thinking about your house, just kind of play with the math or tell your hubby to play with the math.
He's an accountant, so he's good at that.
Yeah, so play with 5% because that's kind of what we're all expecting. So it's going to be a good real estate year, and I'm very grateful. And let's start out kind of odd before we start asking questions on the plate. You've been a buyer in the Midland market multiple times.
Right.
And I wanted to pick your brain before we leave the real estate genre of our conversation. Because I really want you to tell me the truth.
Okay.
Really tell me the truth.
Okay.
What did you enjoy about the home buying process? What did you not enjoy about the home buying process? And what could be more consumer friendly? I really want to know.
Okay. I think whoever's showing you and who's on your team makes the process enjoyable or not.
Okay.
If they know who you are, they know they're going to show you the fun houses and they know what you like. So that part was fun. And I'm pretty creative. So going to different places and seeing what they have that I could do or what I would like, that was fun. And especially, if my time wasn't wasted, whoever was showing me the house you guys,
Yes.
my favorites, you already knew my style. So it made the whole process enjoyable. And I didn't feel like I'm wasting my time looking at things that are not going to interest me.
Good
So
point.
time is very important, especially in my field. So having you guys or having a team behind you that knows you well makes the process definitely enjoyable.
Yeah. What can we do? And I mean, because we can always do better. I think to ever say we couldn't be better is a mistake. For consumers, it to be even more friendlier and even more peaceful and more joyful, did the end get a little wonky? Was the logistics of the move got crazy? Or was there anything that you said, I wished this would have gone a little better? It's not, because I mean, I think we need to know because we can focus on that and we'll really kick butt.
That's true. Honestly, I've had smooth processes through all of our, purchases or sales. Maybe a little more education. I come from a different country, so really my husband is from here and, my best friends are realtors. So I had that support, so I never asked really a lot of questions. But had I not had that, it would have been probably a little harder for me. So learning about mortgages, rates, inspections. Like I didn't know the process of what goes into buying and selling in the United States. And just, I had no idea. So learning a little bit, I didn't know you needed an inspector. We didn't do that in Lebanon. You just go, you find a house, you like it, you can afford it, you buy it. I didn't know, the whole process of how much percent. It's just kind of, for me, it was just babying me a little bit more. But I think education, I said, a little bit about the whole process. Because some people are just too shy to ask, or they think, that's a dumb question to ask. Can I afford this place or can I not? And affording something is one thing, but you think you can afford it until you go and you're like, oh, this is how much down you have to put. If you put less than that, this is how much your mortgage is going to be a month. So what you think you can afford sometimes it comes down to like, no, I can't afford that. Or it didn't appraise for that much. And then, that...
Now we have to pay the difference.
So I didn't know all this stuff.
Okay.
So kind of, I don't know. Maybe people do. I didn't.
I think that's a great idea. And oddly enough, we just had a conversation with Amber, my daughter. We were talking the other day, and just laying out even the next 3 to 5 steps.
Yes, steps.
Yeah. Steps.
Great, exactly.
Hey, here's where we are today, and here's the next 3 to 5 steps. And then as I think that was really good. That just came up, and I'm so glad you said that because
that's exactly what I mean.
Because I feel like, are you like that? I want to know. Like you can give me steps 1 through 3, but I'm figuring out 15. Like what's going to happen?
Yes.
And then I start asking questions about scenarios that may not ever come into play.
Right.
Because my worry starts happening. I start getting
I
worried.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's really cool.
No, yeah.
You really helped us. I like that.
Well,
yeah, thank you. Thank you. I am so excited to introduce you because I just admire you. I have like an awesome friend girl crush on you as far as just admiring your work ethic, how smart you are, of course, how beautiful you are. But it's just that you're just really the whole package of friend, family member, sister, daughter. Like, I just love you.
Sweet.
Doctor, for those of you that don't know, she happens to be my physician. So, I mean, truly, I trust you with my health. And that's so important, to just admire someone that has that role in my life. So, but tell me a little more about you, because I'm hoping today that people, I guess we'll start with your new practice for a moment, but I want people to really get to know you, because in Midland, healthcare is a concern. And if you're going to be choosing a practice or choosing a physician to take care for you, you never really get to know your physician. You don't get a moment. And that's why I wanted to have you on. I was like, I want to give you the platform just for people to feel like they met you, because they may never have a chance to meet you and know a little bit about you and decide that's who I want taking care of me too. So your practice, you opened a new practice. Yes. Give me the details.
First, thank you so much for everything you said. I mean, I feel honored when people come to see me, or my friends, I'm just honored to have people like you in my life, and to have patients that follow me everywhere I go, friends or not friends, or family of friends. I never take that lightly. So I moved to Midland, and my dream was always to become a doctor. That has never changed since I was little.
I was going to say, tell me that story when you were little.
Okay, so long story short, I'm from Lebanon, born and raised. During the 1988 war, I was about 4 years old, and the war broke. My sister was always sick, so we were moving from shelter to shelter. And I remember her pediatrician showing up at one of the shelters, treating her. And I remember thinking, and all the kids would just run to her, the parents. And I remember thinking, like, I want to be her. And I mean, today she's one of my mom's best friend. We've been, and her kids, when we ended up growing up with her kids, and she became family. So I always wanted to be like her. So that never changed. I always thought I was going to be a pediatrician until I got to med school and loved everything about medicine and decided to do family medicine so I can do everything. So I moved from Lebanon when I was 17 to Midland, Texas as a foreign exchange student, lived with an amazing family here that have become really our family away from home. And through the support of them, my family back home, I was able to go. I stayed here and went to Midland College for a year, got a scholarship, and ended up going through undergrad, med school. I did my residency at Tech and ended up marrying my husband, who's from here, and moving back here. But my passion was always helping people. I mean, I love people, whether through medicine or not medicine, and I wanted to make that connection. And that's why I decided to start with outpatient or clinic, and I wanted to do family medicine because I did want to get to learn about the whole family. I wanted to know about your daughter and granddaughter, and I love that. But with the healthcare system in the States, it is so hard to do that in the traditional medicine or practice. So where I was previously, and I loved everything about it, I just wanted to do more. I wanted to be there for my patients on a weekend. I wanted continuity of care. I wanted them to be able to text me whenever they're, in New York, or whatever they're in El Paso, or whatever they are out of town needing help, so they don't end up in an urgent care where doctors don't even know them, for a sore throat or for an ear pain. So I wanted that continuity of care. And I wanted that connection, that continuous connection with my patients. It was hard to do that with 5,000 patients where I came from.
5,000?
We had almost 5,000 patients. And I think when I started, I was seeing there about 5 to 6 patients the first couple months. And we turned into seeing, between myself and my nurse practitioner, about 60 patients a day. And I never wanted to tell no to people or to my patients if they're sick. So it was pilot on, it's just trying to get everybody in that is sick or that needs me. And it became a little, I don't want to say exhausting. I just couldn't be there as much as I wanted for my patients. At the end, there's only one of me. There was times where I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't see you. I know you have a sore throat. I can't see you for a week. I don't know where else, And that's not the kind of practice I wanted or medical practice. I want to be there. And doing it in the traditional way is basically impossible. So I started exploring what we call concierge medicine and another concept called DPC, direct primary care, where you have a smaller panel of patients, but those patients are basically your family. You're there for them all the 24/7. You're there for their families. You treat acute care, chronic care. So I learned, I had to study the market in Midland, and it was a hard decision to make and leave a lot of my patients behind. But I wanted to give medicine that I'm proud of. So that's where that concept kind of came from.
Tell us about your beautiful facility, where it's at, what it is. Give us, because everybody's going to want to visit. I know they're going to want to visit.
So I had a vision, which I've probably had that vision forever. So I knew once I branched out on my own, it was going to be, it's what I wanted to be, and I'm just going to get it done no matter what. So it is on Andrews Highway and kind of right golf course. It's on Tarleton, 1608 Tarleton. It looks like a little house. I wanted it not to feel like a clinic. I didn't want it to smell like a clinic. So my vision was more of a zen, relaxing, upscale clinic that just feels inviting, though, to everybody. So that's where kind of my vision of the clinic started from. I just wanted to feel like you're coming home and you're feeling good about it.
Yeah, tell me the name and what that means.
So it's called V, Concierge Family Medicine and Aesthetics. VIE means life in French. As Lebanese, I grew up speaking French, English, and Arabic. So French was one of our main languages, and V means life in French. So I basically wanted to give life.
I love that. Yeah, we've talked about you being fluent in several languages, so I thought that's pretty cool. Yeah, French and Arabic.
It's a Lebanese thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, everybody speaks at least 3 languages there.
How long did the build out take?
It honestly, that's something too, maybe in real estate, you need to focus on, educate us, because I think I was told it will be about 3 months. Then it was 6 months. Then it was about 9 months.
Okay.
But also, when I started asking friends and people around, that's actually not, now looking back, that actually wasn't bad of,
getting contractors in, contractors out, everything.
When I got
getting
that
the permits, but you can't do anything without those permits.
Yes, exactly. So that took a long time. Materials hard to get come by.
Yeah, I was. Your office is so beautiful. I can only imagine some of yours took a while to get in. Because I've seen the stuff.
Yes, I gotta give a plug to Jamie Hartley for putting up with me. But she was great. I would give her, vision and ideas, and she'd make it happen. But a lot of it, she's like, Vicky, we can't get that like tomorrow. Might take a few months. If it's worth it, we'll wait,
Yes,
so
yes.
I wanted to do it the right way, and I wasn't going to just kind of make it happen.
Well, and it feels so different. I hope everyone gets a chance to go and to see the new facility and see her. But it's so beautiful. We see so much new. It all starts looking homogenous.
Right.
And your practice does not look like that when you walk in. So,
thank you.
Even down to the beautiful fireplace.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, appreciate it. I think so too. I think it's special, and I want people to feel special when they're there.
I always wonder, now we're getting off task, but,
Yes.
you know, the medical, why do they always have the crappiest chairs and the worst smell when you walk in? It's just the furniture is always so darn tacky, as if they bought it all from a wholesale shop. I could any doctor's office I ever go into, it's just that, you know what I mean? It's like the
I
Office
agree.
Depot had a clearance. Like, why? Why does it look like that?
I don't know. You know what? I've always thought that too. That's why that was part of my vision but you know what? Now I'm like some of the things I picked were not very realistic. Like getting a really low chairs in the rooms. Sometimes it's harder, for people that have joint issues to get it.
Oh,
You know, I'm
get
learning that as we go.
I get
Just
it.
adding few things here and there that having white couch in your Zen room with kids in there is not great,
Oh,
but
I
I
got it.
wanted it.
Yes. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So I think it's neat that you wanted to practice from baby to elder care. What is that about? That's a big spectrum.
Well, I told you I wanted to originally do babies, and then I started. When you do med school, you rotate really in everything. So when I did my first rotation in peds, which we call it pediatrics, I loved it. And then I did my OBGYN rotation, and then I loved it. I loved delivering babies. I loved doing pap smears. And then I did my internal medicine, which was only adult, and I realized I missed the babies and the moms and the paps and the procedure. And then I did my family rotation. And I realized I can do all of that in family medicine. And, when when you're seeing just kids and you chat with the moms and they tell you about their stuff, then you're like, I wish I can help them. So I felt with family medicine, I could really kind of do all of it. And just, I don't know, I'm very passionate about it.
So concierge, it's a new concept to West Texas. I'm not sure if
Right.
I'm sure it's not new to other parts of the world, but it's nice because it does personal. It feels way more personal. You feel like you've got a bit more time, and accessibility, I think, is the number one thing that I enjoy. And I think most of your clients now would enjoy, or patients, as you call them. In real estate, they're clients. In your industry, they're patients. But yeah, so I mean, it really is a different feel. And by hiring your nurse practitioner,
Yes.
you can take on additional clients. So that's nice.
Yes.
That's an option for you.
So when I decided to start on my own, and I had researched that DPC module versus the concierge. The DPC, real quick, is you don't take insurance, but you charge a yearly fee or a quarterly fee. But you come to me, I won't charge your insurance. But by doing so, I have to give up my privileges for Medicare, Medicaid. You have to give up those privileges.
Oh, wow.
But I still cover hospital calls and I still do urgent cares. So by giving that up, I would have to give up my positions in the hospital because, most patients go to the hospital, they have insurance, they're not going to go. So that aspect was so great for patients because they pay a yearly fee and everything's included. I thought it was great for the patients, but then I wouldn't be able to work in the hospitals or urgent cares. So we went the concierge route, which it's kind of like a basic clinic. You get charged copay, but you have a membership fee, and with that, you get access. You have my cell phone number. Patients call me at any time or text me at any time. They're out of town. They're sick. They come in the same day or next day appointment, long appointment times. We really focus on preventative care. So when I decided to do that, I realized, I've carried the guilt of leaving a lot of my patients behind, and I still do every single day. So I figured bringing a nurse practitioner in with giving her a lesser tier, so hers would be substantially less than my fee a month, I can still pull in a lot of those patients to see me. And with that, they still get, the same day appointment, long appointment hours. They still have, good access to care. But that was my way of finding something that is kind of in between where I can still see as many patients.
You really did take two models and merge them together.
Right.
That is awesome.
So
I like that.
well, thank you.
So you've been open. What day did you officially open?
October 21st.
And how's that going? Of course, you're going to tell me it's good. And we're going to talk about, of course, it's all good. We're so blessed.
Right.
Even on our worst day, I'm so incredibly grateful to be in my space, So, But we'll talk about entrepreneurship and some challenges. But does it take a while? Sometimes when I think about you, I wonder, does it take a while? Because you're also doing, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, the aesthetics. Does it take a while for this thing to take off, or because you were where you were, you had such a base, did it just be like, boom, we're here?
So it took, and like you said, we'll talk about the challenges later, because in med school they don't teach you how to start a clinic or a medical practice or anything like that. So once we got there, it honestly, I think the minute we started talking and kind of advertising and sneak peeking about the clinic, I had a flood of patients reach out and saying, we don't care where you're at. We don't, we're on your list. And I mean, I can't even tell you how, because, you're going into the unknown, you're taking this risk, you don't know if it's going to work or not. You just have this vision, you believe in it so much, and you're hoping everybody else believes in it as well or believes in you. And just getting the emails and messages is just overwhelmingly, amazing. And honestly, it started better than I thought it would, and it's been going great. Obviously, there's a lot of challenges, but where we're standing, we're doing pretty good.
Does it, and I don't know, like in our industry, I started a long time ago with Kay Sutton at Century 21, and I had this amazing location. I had this desk by the ladies' room. So everyone that went tinkle,
there you go.
I got to say hello to. Primo spot. No. Anyway, but over time, as you grow in your career and you become a broker, you have more, and you're in charge of the reins. You're more in charge of the reins, the daily operations. Is it that way with medical? Because you were at a big clinic. Did you have any say there?
No.
And do you have say now?
I did have a say. The clinic I was at was owned by a big corporation, like medical healthcare system. And so they did all the hiring, all the firing, all the, everything. I really just came and doctored. And got my salary or the bonuses or whatnot, and I left. Yes, every now and then if I'm getting an MA or somebody to help me, I'll get a say. And I don't know if I feel like we're a match or not. But really, other than that, I just went and was a doctor and left. So it was easy. I mean, I did what I love to do. Which brings us to the challenges of learning how to run your own practice.
Yeah. Is your family incredibly proud of you? Because the few times I've been around, they light up.
Oh, well, I hope so.
Your mom, do they visit often?
Yes. Not as often as we would like. They usually come once a year, and we go once a year. Like I said, I thought we were going to open in August, so they flew here in August thinking they were going to be here for the opening, but we didn't open till October. So they end up staying the 3 months because Mom was like, I am not leaving until I see this clinic. And bless her heart, I mean, she was in there every day talking to the contractors, picking stuff up, and helping. And I think that made them feel good about themselves, because I feel like they've missed out on a lot of our milestones, my sisters and I, and that was very important for me for them to be part of.
Can we talk about your sister for a moment? I'd like people to know she's kind of important.
She's a big star.
Yeah. She's a basketball player.
She is. She actually moved to Midland before me, about 6 months before me, and never told me what Midland, Texas looked like. So there I am, 17-year-old, thinking, Lebanon is this big. So thinking about how big the States is, I mean, I just didn't imagine. And I just thought it's what you see on TV. So I got here, never told me, it's a desert. It is West Texas. I had no clue. I thought I was going to see bridges and mountains and water. Needless to say, I end up in Midland with her. And she ended up going to Lee, or Legacy now, and ended up playing college basketball at Lamar University, which is a D1. And then she's been playing overseas in Europe and Lebanon. She plays for the national team in Lebanon. And she was the face of Nike in the Middle East, and now I think it's Puma or Reebok. I can't keep up with her, but she's a TikTok star. I mean, she's a celebrity in Lebanon. She has her face on billboards, and they're very proud of her.
That is so awesome.
Very proud of her in Lebanon. Yes.
You also have a big heart for helping, like the clinic. Like I went to that charitable thing at the Racket Club. I love seeing that you're all about that.
Oh my
That
God, that's
children's
my
clinic?
passion. The Community Children's Clinic. It's a clinic where it is where patients can go that are underserved, and really for $20 they get free. Basically, their whole visits for free, their medications for free, their referrals for free. So I feel so blessed to be part of that and being able to give back because I mean, I think that's an amazing thing that we're able to provide our community. And honestly, if it wasn't for Midland, I mean, this town is just overwhelmingly supportive of a lot of things. Not, I mean, everything that I get involved in, seeing how much people care and how much they're willing to give, it's just mind blowing.
It's really, that's one of the things I love about Midland too.
Yeah.
There is a big heart. Midland
Big.
has a very big heart.
I mean,
Do you know Brandy Bell?
yes.
Brandy and I always talk about that. You know, she came to this town as a single mama, as she would tell us. It's such a heartwarming story of they basically helped her raise her boys,
I believe
and
it.
now she's giving back.
Well, I mean, my sister and I are a pure example of that. We would have not been here. As much as I want to get out of Midland when I first moved here, I would have never been where I'm at today without the support of Midland for sure.
That is so awesome. I was thinking about the pandemic. I know we're not trying to go dark here or anything because I know you're like, why are you talking about the pandemic? But man, those were interesting times. But I mean, you navigated a lot of us through that just with grace and dignity. But medical care, do you see it getting more in, I don't even know the word, but less quality and more about the volume? Or, I mean, it's hard to be in medicine. I hear that
It
even
is.
with our pediatricians. I've heard that from my dentist.
I hate to say that or agree with that because I do believe in all my colleagues. Everybody wants to make a difference and help. But again, the healthcare system, the insurance policies, it just does not make it easy. You know, I mean, doctors are still trying to, make a living and try to help and give back. But it has changed so much from it used to be. It's almost like you have to see double the amount of patients to basically keep up a practice running, to keep your staff. People don't understand or do not understand. They just don't realize the expenses that go into, running a successful practice. So sometimes it just seems like you gotta see so many patients to make as much as doctors used to make 10 years ago.
Oh, yes.
It's just the healthcare system and the insurance policies have just changed tremendously to the worse.
Yeah, a lot of practices aren't taking insurance. I mean, but I'm glad you said that's called direct care practice.
Yes.
I did not know why that was happening because we've had that happen, and I was like, I wonder why that's happening.
Yeah, you're like, and they'll tell you pay $150 a month or $200 a month or whatever it is, and that includes your blood work, your X-rays. I mean, everything. Some clinics add, certain medications to that because they're just tired. Doctors are just tired of dealing with insurance companies, and a lot of them have stopped taking certain insurances because it's working for free. They're going to pay you $20 or $25 for a visit of 45 minutes treating, especially primary care doctors like family medicine, internal medicine, peds, because you're treating sore throat and headache and diabetes and cholesterol. And by the way, my back hurts all in one visit. And then you're begging the insurance company to pay you for everything you did that day.
Yeah, that is a lot. That's a lot of maneuvering that you have to do. Wow. It never really occurred to me until we're talking today that your patients are a client, but you actually have your insurance companies and then your probably pharmaceutical groups. You serve a lot. You have to serve and go through a lot of channels to get to the end result, don't you?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I mean, you see me today, I bill your insurance. Your insurance is probably not going to pay me for like 3 months or 2 months, depending on what your insurance is. I could have I did your strep test that cost me about $50. I billed your insurance, they're supposed to pay $80 because you're supposed to make money off of, certain things. I billed, your strep and COVID test, $150. Let's say those are just theoretical numbers. I'll see probably half of that 3 months from now. So at some point, like certain shots are very expensive. Like I have a lot of friends like, why isn't this doctor carrying Bicillin shot? I didn't realize that until I opened a practice. A Bicillin shot is $1,500, and you're lucky if your insurance pays me $500 for it. You know what I mean? I mean, in concierge practice, I can splurge and do that for my patients because I'm having money upfront to be able to do certain things extra for them. Yeah. But in a regular practice, I can see why, doctors don't carry everything. They don't, it's just unfeasible.
Yeah, I can totally see that. So let's talk about the fun stuff for a minute, and then we'll get back to our entrepreneur. The aesthetics. I love that you married the two. What was your thought process in marrying the two?
Well, one, I always kind of like aesthetics. It's fun. I kind of dabble here and there, did a little bit of Botox for friends, started with friends and family. And I feel like I have an eye for it. And I've realized it's just not really something it's just a misconception. People are like, if you're making yourself look good, then you're vague or you're vain if you can make somebody feel better, whether it's from the outside or inside or even both, that's even better. So I thought it just complements what we're doing. I originally wanted to go down that road and do training, get myself super trained, and do both. But then I wanted to be the best at both. And I know myself. So I looked for the best to bring to my team. And I wanted my patients to be able to get the best of both worlds when they come to practice. And, whether it's medical, acute care, chronic care, and aesthetics, I just felt like we don't have that. I mean, we have a little bit concepts of it, but I want to do it the right way.
Yeah.
So I wanted to.
It matters too. I mean, I'm just saying it's like everyone's doing Botox. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a Botox special. You only have to have it go wrong one time. Yeah. Right here. Do you see this eyebrow? No, I'm just joking. I'm just playing. But I've had that done before where you get cockeyed. Yeah. And the thing is, it's nice that you have the medical oversight 100% and the medical vetting for your client. You can go with confidence.
Right.
And we can go get those treatments and we know, hey, she's done that hard work for us. We don't have to research who's doing it, what their credentials are,
right?
What products they're using.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's one thing I wanted. Before I just brought somebody in to do it, I wanted to be experienced or learn. I mean, obviously I know anatomy and physics and chemistry pretty well, but it's different when you do hands-on things. And I wanted to have a good background before I took on the responsibility of having somebody to come and touch my patients. And sometimes, I have a lot of patients, not now, but, that they'll come and say, I went and got Botox done or filler done, and they messed it, or I had a problem, and I asked for the medical director. I wanted the doctor to come fix it. And they're like, the doctor had no idea what to do. I didn't want to be that doctor.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yes, because, as medical doctors, we supervise different clinics or different nurses or but sometimes, I don't want to supervise something that I'm not familiar or comfortable with. I want to be,
and your name is on it.
My 100%.
Yes.
And it's at the end of the day, whether it's aesthetics or not, it's people's faces, it's people's blood vessels, it's their muscles. So it is not something that we should take lightly and, just open up a practice.
So you use products from... Did you say Sweden?
I use ZO product.
ZO. Okay,
yes.
so I'm just wondering because it seemed like we talked about that once.
Yes. So fun fact: the owner's Obaji, who is Syrian. I always thought he was Lebanese, and then I was like, oh, he's on the border. But ZO products, medical grade skincare, so it's research, well studied. We also use Alta MD sunscreen, which again, everything's been under rigorous medical studies. I wasn't going to bring, and no shame to any other brands. I just wanted something medical to carry. And just because, we're a medical facility at the end of the day, we're not a spa.
That's right.
So I wanted something that is medically researched.
I like that too. So give us an example of what services on the aesthetic side.
Okay. So really aesthetic sides, we do pretty much everything from talks, I'm not going to... like Botox, neurotoxins, fillers, lips, cheeks, really you name it. neuromodulators, which are the new kind of products that stimulate your collagen, like Sculptra, Radiesse. We also have what we call a tri-lift machine, which gives you like a little mini lift that lasts about a year with RF microneedling. We do kind of like something similar to a hydrofacial. It's a diamond glow facial, which I think works so much.
What is that? I've got a gift certificate, by the way.
Oh my God,
So
you're gonna love it.
I was supposed to book it, but I just haven't done. But then I went to the charity thing, the St. Anne's Masquerade, and I won the best.
Stop.
Yes, I gotta come see you.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God,
was
you
like,
won the Botox
all
and
of
the
it.
tri-lift session,
And then I have the. So,
you. I was
know.
wondering who won that.
Yeah, that was.
So it was.
I just forgot to text you.
Oh yeah, so you need to come. So if I do something, it's gonna have to be the best because I'm just good at researching, and I know I'm not gonna bring something into people that I wouldn't do it myself. So we went down that rabbit hole of researching all kinds of facial machines. And Diamond Glow is amazing because it suctions pretty well. If you've had a hydrofacial, it's kind of like the same process.
Okay.
It just suctions a little harder, so you get a little more of that surface. And it infuses back serums into your pores that your body kind of, our esthetician will assess, hey, you need a little brightening, pore refining. So you get all that good nutrients back in your skin. So you just you leave and you feel like your pores are clean, you're glowing skin. And then when you put your skin products on, it really just sucks it into that pore.
What's the glowing mask I saw that your husband was wearing?
Oh my God, this is the red light therapy. It's the new big thing.
I know. Tell me about that.
I love it. So they say it's a fake Botox in a light. I don't know if it is that good. I haven't used it that much. But red light therapy is great for tightening. Well, depending which one you get. The one we have is contour and we have an acne one. But it is great because it kills the bacteria of the skin. It tightens a little bit of your skin and rebuild that collagen. And it helps with dark spots. And you're supposed to use it 2 to 3 times a week for 10 to 15 minutes. But it's a great new invention.
Wow, that's really. I've been seeing that on your story.
Yeah,
and I think I even saw Kate do it, and I was like, "What are they doing?
Yes.
What's everybody doing?"
And I swear, when I opened that practice, I was like, "I'm gonna be in the Zen room every day with my red light therapy." Done it like once. I get all my friends and all my patients and all my family get to use it, but I'm happy everybody else does.
Your skin does look beautiful.
Well, thank you.
It looks very glowy. I love it. It always does. But
I've had a hard time really. I always had a great skin, and then all of a sudden I didn't. I don't know if it's the stress and working overnight, and you get home and you just get in the habit of really barely washing your face or not washing, passing out, until I started kind of getting more into the aesthetics part of this business and realizing how important it is to have, especially I feel like, the younger the better, but once I hit 35, you start seeing things you never saw before. So I really made it a New Year's resolution to do better with my skin. And I think we're getting there.
That the nighttime skin regimen is the hardest thing for me because I'm so tired. And sometimes I have to think about 8 hours. Like if you look this bad now, imagine in 8 hours of sleep if you don't get that stuff off your face.
100%.
I have to almost threaten myself. Because you just don't want to do it.
I used to do the lazy, get those wipies and wipe my face and go to bed. And then until I really started being good at washing, because I'll do the wipes and then when I would wash it and then wipe them again, I'm like, oh my God, the wipes didn't get anything. And then even the first, now we tell you to double cleanse.
I was just going to ask you that because Amber says, Mom, you have to dual cleanse.
You have, yeah.
And I'm like, we have to dual cleanse? I barely unicleanse.
But it makes a huge difference because the first part of the cleansing will get, most of the things that is water soluble. And then you get the things that don't come off with water. You need the product that gets the oily stuff out. So I've had to really learn. But once you get into the routine, it's like brushing your teeth. I tried yesterday so hard. I was so tired. And I was like, I didn't go anywhere today. I washed my face already in the morning. I didn't put any makeup. It should be clean. I'm fine. And I got in bed at 10:30, 11.
After the Super Bowl?
After Super Bowl. And I could not. It just kept hunting me. I'm like, get out of bed. Go wash your face. So I did.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you use the same skin line too?
Oh,
I mean, of
100%.
course,
Like I
figured
said,
you
I'm
would,
not going to use anything.
but I just like to know because your skin, of course, that's the walking billboard, right?
Oh, well, thank you.
That's right.
Well, yes, and I got Tyler, my husband, on it, and now
You did?
he is such a routine person. So yesterday he's on, you didn't wash your face, get up, wash your face, and watching him do it, I'm like, oh man, I created a monster, but I
Do they
love
have a men's
it.
line, or is it the same line?
Don't, but really, I feel like with men they're just not gonna sit and do the 20 steps we're
that's true.
doing. So really, I made it very easy: the wash, the scrub, the pad, the day, the face, the moisturizer in the morning, and sunscreen. Same thing at night, and add retinol. So kind of made it a little for men. They just want the basics. They don't care about the firm. I mean, I think Tyler does, because he's always like, "You're using this, brightening. Why aren't you giving me the vitamin C or whatnot?" So he's extra.
I like that.
But really, if you get him into just the basic routine, that's great for the guys.
What are your hours of operation? Now, I mean, where someone can walk into the
Okay.
practice.
I was like, because the clinic is basically open 24/7, but the hours of operation are 8:30 to 4:30.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're always working after hours.
We need some better pharmacies.
100%.
I don't know what's going on, but I mean, I bet I've talked to 10 of my girlfriends, and right now you got sick kids, and man, pharmacies. I mean, and we're not even going to talk about the names, but man, I wish we could. I happen to use a pharmacy that's not one of the big brands, and I like it, and I've had okay, but I feel like I wish you'd get that same great concierge service pharmaceutical. I don't know if that would even be possible.
I've had a lot of people tell me that, and I mean, who knows what the future holds, but it's a lot. And two, we have a huge shortage of pharmacists. I think that's one of the main problems.
Okay.
And that's why, the hours of certain pharmacies have changed. Pharmacies that used to open 24/7 no longer open 24/7. But I heard Midland Memorial System is, with the whole renovation, they're adding a pretty good.
I'm so excited about this. It's going to be a lot of construction and a lot of mess.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah, that's going to be nice. I wanted to share a quote that a friend of ours told us, and I remember Norma Pine. She was telling me that as I get older, get all your health care providers in place now while I'm young, so we have a good health. Because that's the thing, you don't really know if your numbers are off unless you've been tracking them
100%.
and you've had a good doctor watching all your, I don't know what you call them,
Trends.
your labs. I guess I'm going to call them my labs. And so I thought, she was like, you don't want to end up in a health crisis without someone that you trust to take care of those issues. Well, then we were talking to a friend earlier today, and she was like, no, get a younger doctor, because if you get an older doctor, they're going to die. Like, you're going to be like older. My doctor's going to not be here when I need them. So I'd never thought about our lifespan and our medical care being considered.
I've had patients tell me that. They said one of their checklists to finding a doctor is finding a younger doctor. So I better get who I get, because I ain't getting any more after that, because I'm only getting older from here. But I've had a lot of patients tell me that.
I never had heard that. And then the other quote that we thought, it's not funny at all, but it was like, you don't have the ability to treat and cure cancer, but if we are your patient, you can ensure we get referred to the best so that we can beat cancer.
100%.
And I'm like, see, this is exactly why concierge medicine is so important for us.
100%. It's really getting you to the right person at the right time. With medicine, timing is everything. And it used to break my heart to see patients that I couldn't get to the right place in the system I was in before. And now, I mean, every patient of mine is my priority.
I was talking to a mutual friend. It was a real testimony for you too, because I'm just giving you all these testimonies. And she had been referred not immediately. I would say in the next 6 months, you need to have an operation is pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the advice. You need to go have this surgery. And then she went to see you, and you had a really sensible approach. Like, wait, let's do these steps and let's evaluate if that's needed. And I just loved that, because the other ones are like, get under the knife, get on the table right now, get on the table. And you're like, well, maybe we will. I don't know.
Right.
Let's look at some things. I loved that.
Well, I mean,
You weren't just quick to do it.
But also, it helps when you know your patients. You know, if it's somebody that I've seen for the first time, maybe, and I've had, even if I've seen first time and I have an hour like I do now, I have an hour appointment with every patient, I have the time to sit with them and go through their history with them and really listen to them. But when I had a 15 minutes, it's like, oh, is that what they told you to do? Give me your chart. Let me look through it. I'll get back with you, you know? So things move a lot more efficiently, especially if you know somebody, you know their background, you know, like, hey, I've known you for so long, I'm pretty sure this is moving slow, or I don't know which case you're talking about, but, you know.
It was just a good, balanced approach. I think she really appreciated it.
Well, thank you.
Do you have, like, so urgent care? You do urgent care?
So,
Is that saying that correctly?
well, no, you're saying it. So in clinic, we don't do, it's not an urgent care, but you break, you know, you fall and need suturing, we'll come in on Saturday or Sunday, we'll suture you.
Okay.
You know, you have a sore throat on the weekend, you break your arm, we'll put a cast in. So the minor, but I do cover urgent cares at Signature Cares, Midland and Odessa.
Oh, okay.
So if patient, like I had an example over the week or last week, I had a patient that really didn't need to go to the ER and sit through the ER for hours, more of an urgent care. That I just needed to give them antibiotics for 12 hours and reevaluate. So I told them, you know, I'll meet you at Signature Care, and I went there and took care of them and did.
Oh, that's
you know,
neat.
So
Yeah,
it's
because
just convenient.
one thing I love about Signature Care is they have the machines. They got the CT
Oh, they have
and the X-ray.
everything. They have.
Yeah. I was like,
Love
that's
it.
nice.
And during COVID, when all the hospitals were full, we were able to keep patients there for 2 to 3 days. We were able
Really?
to intubate and keep them, you know. So we were able to do, basically, it's like a little mini hospital, but they have a lot of the things that, you know, that can get you through the first 2 days without having to go sit in a hospital or wait for hours to be seen at.
What's going on at the Westwood campus? I guess they're doing, what, is that same day surgery there now? West Campus?
Yes.
I have a friend of mine who's a nurse, and I thought that I didn't, because back, you know, that I knew they were still doing it, but I think they're starting to move things.
Mm-hmm, they're moving things. I was on that meeting not long ago, but there's a lot going on and moving things. It's getting a little overwhelming.
A lot of logistics.
A lot.
Wow. Our city is going to be so well served when we get the new.
I agree. And honestly, in this town, patients always come to me, especially now, they're like, send me to Dallas, send me to Houston. I want to see a specialist. We have amazing providers here in Midland. I mean, I am, you know, ENT, GI, I mean, specialists. We have a great group of physicians that been brought to this town, and we need to take advantage of them. Really, I mean, unless there's a facility that doesn't cover something that you need, you can really find it here. So it'd be amazing to have even a better, you know, hospital or better, you know, nicer hospital.
Are they going to do anything with the labor and delivery, or is that?
Oh, they're redoing the whole thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I know my daughter works at medical center, and because she's a NICU nurse, and that's why she does, because it's a higher rated facility over there. So
yeah, medical center is a great hospital.
My grandbaby was just born there a week ago.
Yeah. Really? Oh, that's where I saw the
because she was a traveling nurse too, and worked at level 5 NICU place. So she was like, no, I want to be there in case anything went. You know, you never know.
Yes.
So she just felt a little bit, and plus she works there, and new people probably have.
It's a great hospital.
Yeah,
it really is, and has great physicians there.
Did you always plan to be self-employed?
Yes. I knew that was a transition. Like I said, also, I mean, becoming a doctor in the States is totally different than Lebanon. So I had to learn the, you know, healthcare system here and how to navigate it. That's why I got a master's in public health. So I can learn a little bit. And I did that back in med school when I was doing med school, because I knew I was going to work for somebody for a minute. When I decided to go on my own, I didn't realize it was going to happen when it happened. But it did. And I knew my time was limited working for somebody. That was always my dream, to have my own practice, really sail and own my own hospital. But I started with a clinic.
Awesome.
So that was a given. I knew I was going to do that.
So being an entrepreneur, you know, I was just talking to another female entrepreneur in our city that's been in business 32 years. And we were talking about how I think life has a sorting, but the community has a way to sort through, like the ones that are community driven, service driven. I've got this book right here I've been sharing, The High Trust Selling. Which is really just having the hard conversations, being bold enough to ask permission to say the things sometimes and that talk yourself out of a job. Those are the conversations where, you know what, I don't think you should buy this house, or I don't think you need to do this, or I feel like you could save money over here. So those are the conversations that build trust in my industry, not just write the contract, buy the house, write the contract, buy
Right.
your house, or sell your house for the lowest possible dollar so it sells really quick. But so my point is that the sorting process of our community, those of us who've been in it a long time, it's almost like the community validates your commitment. And I know that's something you're really big on. You're very committed to the community. You're committed to charitable functions. And I think that's awesome. Have you already decided how you're going to do that contribution? For a doctor, does it look like you're going to practice medicine at a reduced fee or free? You know what I mean? Like for me, I advise and consult. It's my advising and consulting. But what does that look like for a doctor? Giving back?
It's basically yes. I do a lot of I have a panel of patients that I see regularly, whether for pay or not. I volunteer a lot of my hours to do physicals, to do day clinic at certain places. Like I said, I mean, I don't like to talk about that stuff
I know.
because, but in any way I can find where I can give back, I do my best to do so. And I don't like to talk about it just because I don't like to give and say I get, kind of thing. It's just I do it because I love to do it. And like I said, leaving my old clinic, I feel terrible guilt. And I can think of certain individuals that really needed me. And I didn't feel comfortable letting them go and find their own way and find somebody that will continue, because we started something in a health journey. And I have a lot of those patients that I keep and I still see.
So sweet. Well, I think that I love that. I think that as an entrepreneur in any field, whether it's real estate or medical, that's what's going to give us that staying power. The community supports you because it's funny. They're very smart. They know who's in it for the long haul, who's in it for the right reasons, who's going to do the next right thing, who's going to offer the best next service and take care of the client. And I love that about us. But entrepreneurship is hard, isn't it?
It is hard. But even, teaching is a big thing for me. I have students that will rotate with me. I was a delegate for the national conference where I was the voice of, what we call them new physicians, where you go and discuss what new physicians go through. And I try, and I'm involved in the Texas Academy of Family Physicians. I just finished my year. I was on the board for that. So anyways, even outside of just medical, just medicine, just being a voice of our for our patients and for our profession, I try to be involved in those things. And I think those are great ways to give back without,
How do you enjoy the managing side of being?
I hate it. I don't like it. I'm a people pleaser. I don't like it. I'm learning that it's, I would say, the hardest thing. But I'm very blessed. I have a great team. Very blessed. I have a great support system. My husband is an accountant. So starting all that with him, researching everything and doing all that part of it has been just like a blessing, because I could have done it. I would have just done it either the longer way, the harder way, or the more expensive way. And yes, so he really fit. I mean, he made all these three way better. But everybody asked me, how do you like being on your own? I love it. The challenges for me is managing without. I'm very bossy. I know myself. I can be very bossy, but I'm also a people pleaser. I'm an older sister, and I like things a certain way. I can't help it. I just like things the way I like them, and I just can't. Tyler sometimes like just let it be. I'll say, okay, I'll let it be, and then it just bugs me. Like, if this is not, that needs to be here. Like, I'm gonna be like, I told you I needed this to be here, not here.
You know what I don't like? Smelly lunches.
Popcorn popped in clinic when I have, paying tons of money to spread good smell in the clinic. Yeah, I get it. And just finding the nice way. I mean, those are the silly
I
things,
know.
you
But
know?
but we have to like I walked in the other day and I was like, and I'm blunt. It stinks in here. I'm like, it stinks. What has happened? What has happened? You know, and I don't like jarred candles. They can't come in
Oh,
a jar. If it's like food should be in them, it can't be a candle in my office. Like I'm just my daughter loves
oh
jarred
my
candles. She likes it when there's like cherries and pineapples in there. No. But
God.
anyway, so I'm in there. You know what it was? Construction next door. They were doing
Oh,
some serious plumbing next door.
and you
But
smelled it.
I went check the trash. I'm like, what has happened? What is happening?
I feel
But
ya.
yeah,
I need to hang with you a little. It
smells.
just smells is a big thing
Smells.
for me
Smells is a big thing
too.
for me.
Yes.
Oh, and you know what? Junk. Junk sitting out
Oh,
everywhere.
I
I don't
can't.
like that either.
They know that. I go to the conference room. I start moving everything. I say, I don't care if you put it in a drawer, your junk, but I just can't see it out. I mean, my house the same way. Tyler's always like, what did you do with my paper? I'm like, if it was where it was supposed to be, you wouldn't lose it. I put it in some drawer. As long as they don't see it, it's fine. I don't know. That's been, I mean, because not everybody's like that. And so that's been a little challenging. And that is, some of the small little things,
Yeah.
but they add up,
When I
man.
was raising the boys, so they're 9 and 12, and I always say, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Ah,
So
I like
don't tell me
that.
the one thing is not important because how you do that one thing is how you do
I'm
everything.
gonna start
And
using that.
yeah, and so it's like it. But then I always say, but with like a 10% humanity curve, of course.
Right,
But we are
right.
human. But,
Yeah.
yeah, but I do think the details matter.
I agree. Everything I want my patients to have the experience from the second they walk in to the second they leave. I have a certain vision. I have a certain, down to the smell. I spend quite a bit on putting good smell in the
Do you have that
vents.
system? You know that one system is for all the hotels?
Uh-huh.
Because I've been
That's
wanting to
basically the
get that.
system I have.
I was
Love
just
it.
in Perry and I were in Naples,
Mhm.
and they have their own walk-in store in Naples downtown. And I was like, that's that store.
Uh-huh.
But, with Perry, that's a whole other story.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's why all those details are very important. They really are.
Too. I think so too. I think aesthetics are important. I mean, but I am just impressed that you're running a medical clinic with those details. I'm like,
It's a challenge every day. I'm telling you, white couches. I know why people don't have white
Yeah.
couches in their clinic.
oh my gosh, I
That's
love
okay.
it. If you were, because we're always talking about talk to the one in our cameras, but if you were going to talk to somebody that's wondering, thought about you, seen the advertisements, you just had a February, you just had a thing Saturday, didn't you?
Valentine's.
Yeah, you had your little Valentine's thing. So if somebody's just wondering, do you have anything to say? Because you've got people probably that want to become a patient, want to walk in through the practice. What would you tell them?
I would say our practice is great if you're looking to prioritize your health. We spend tons of amount of money on different things, but if your health is your priority, this is the place to be. We are very, very, very passionate about what we do. We love our patients. We love their whole family. We treat our patients as a whole well-being, not just, as a symptoms or a disease. So if this is what you're looking for, then V is the right place for you.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you for coming to see me today.
Thank
And
you
it's been fun.
me. Yes.
You never
this
just
is
get to
great.
sit and talk.
Yes, I love it.
I think we should
Love it.
cheers.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think so too.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I gotta say, you're an inspiration.
Oh.
You really are.
Thank you.
Really. I got a
try.
lot to learn from you.
Ditto. Ditto.